Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to some EVE Online, and in today's video I want to take you guys on a little trip about exploration. It's something that I've been doing in the last few days, and I just thought I'd share with you guys the experience that I try to have whenever I'm doing some exploration. So we're gonna take a little trip. It's in the Ishtar, and of course the focus is on 3 out of 10s and 4 out of 10s. So let's get started. What will I need? I'll need the probe scanner, which I can get from right here. Nothing to see here in Dital. Of course, Dital now has quite a few people in it. It's also right next to Providence, so that's a little bit normal. So let's head right for Chunka. Actually, my favorite system for exploration these days. It's been especially good for 4 out of 10s. I tend to, for some reason, find a lot of those in Chunka. So let's head over there. Let's see what we can spot. In the meantime, I can also probably use the D-scan just to get an idea of who might be in the site as I'm warping in. And people's in place, I don't think I'm going to do that. When I do small exploration sessions like this one, I don't tend to keep bookmarks of the specific sites that I've scanned. If I'm planning to do a lot of exploration, I will bookmark wormholes and things like that, just to make sure that I don't do double scans. So here we have 2 signatures. Let's take a look at what these are. Deploy my probes. We have 2 decently large looking signatures in the middle of the system right here. So OAK and XTS. Let's see what they are. Unfortunately, 17 local is not that much, but sometimes it's only 3 or 4. We're scanning this pretty effectively. I unfortunately think that this is not gonna be too great. It also depends a little bit. If I'm early enough in the evening, I tend to find more sites. If it's a bit more busy later on in the evening, EU time, then it's always a bit trickier. So it's gonna be 2 combat sites though. That's a little bit weird. Let's see what they are. I still think at most it's going to be rogue drone asteroids, but I even suspect it's gonna be smaller than that. There we go, rogue drone asteroid infestation. And what is the other one? Let's take a look. If we can find him here, probably a little bit lower as well. Combat site, yeah, a little bit lower right there. Let's go like this, 71%. Could be a 3 out of 10. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be another rogue drone asteroid infestation. Exactly. So it's 2 of them. I'm going to save one. Corporate signatures. There we go. So maybe we can do this one at the end. There is a small chance for a drop. The next system on my shortest tour is always nope, not SS Gamma, what the hell am I doing? It's Tashinaz right there. Tashinar is a bit more interesting because it only has 2 exits. One is Chunka right here, and the other is Dira, which you can see over there, which is a system with ice mining in it. Why does that make this one interesting? Because a lot of people never really travel through Tashinaz. There's very little reason to do so. Does that make it a good system for exploration? Sometimes. Honestly, most explorers know that this is a great system with low traffic, so they tend to check it more often, I get the feeling. So I still prefer Chunka over Tashinaz personally. Let's take a look. A refuge and then just 1 signature. So we can definitely take a look at what that is. If we're lucky and it's a recent spawn, then it might be good. Unfortunately, it already feels a little small, and I suspect that a wormhole is definitely a possibility. So we'll take a quick look. Here it could be okay. Close to a planet is usually a good bet. And it's actually very close to the center of the system. So let's go like that. Drop it down a little bit, and let's take a look at this one. it's an unstable wormhole as expected, then I don't finish this off. What I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to drop in on the Sancha Refuge. This is something that I do as well during my exploration runs. Why? Sancha Refuge has a very small chance of getting a true Sancha spawn, which can then, if you're very lucky, yield you a nice faction drop, but it can also escalate to a 3 out of 10. Now, most of those escalations, in my experience, have been to nullsec and lowsec. Still, it's possible that it escalates to highsec as well, which then makes it worth it to do the trip. So let's quickly finish off this Sancha Refuge. I usually go with the ogres. They normally do a good enough job tracking everything. So let's go like this. I do actively target. I just don't leave the ogres to do their thing. Sometimes the ships don't aggro for some reason, and so like this I can now split the damage a little bit, put some ogres on some of these frigates, and hope that the tracking is efficient. Yeah, there we go, one down. Kill the rest in one shot. That of course is always very nice. There we go, a couple more. As everything blows up, huge explosions for those small batteries, but pretty entertaining. So you go over here. Just keep understood. So now they aggroed their attack automatically, but you saw in the previous spawn that they don't always aggro right away, so that you might be wasting a little bit of time because your drones won't attack either. Send your cannoneer. He aggroes me right away, that's alright as well. We can maybe move a little bit closer to their spawn point. A Devourer, that's not too special. Aha, there we go. Actual escalation. Very, very nice. This is why I do the refuges whenever I see them available. This means that I now have to go to my journal right here. And we can go to expeditions. Let's do a quick set destination. It's in lowsec, unfortunately, a 0.4. I'll have to decide whether or not I want to go after that one. Maybe in a cloaky ship, a PvP capable ship or something like that. It is in its own place, of course, in lowsec, so if you can make the 2 jumps, you could risk that. I tend to not risk the lowsecs. I would rather stick to some extra exploration in highsec then and hope for a better escalation or a better site. So let's head over to Dira next. You know, this is the small 4 system tour that I'm showing you guys here, that I'm doing when I only have like 15-20 minutes, don't feel like doing a lot of exploration. If I want to explore for a few hours, of course, I have several routes through Devoid that I can run several times, and then I would of course save everything that I've scanned down, make sure that I don't do double scans, try to do this as effectively as possible. But when I just want a short session, Chunka, sometimes I really do get 4 out of 10s there that are pretty juicy, and they're in Tashina as well. It depends, right? Oftentimes an explorer has just been there, so there's nothing interesting, but at other times you can get lucky, lots of signatures to find, and thus more chances at some good stuff. So let's move to Dira here. It's a little bit of a different system. Unfortunately, this is not the best time. So what I found here, interestingly enough, is Dira is a system with ice belts. So you can see that there's a decently high population here, 20 in local. What I found though is that most of them are here to mine the ice. And so whenever there is an ice belt available, most people are in that belt actively mining for ice. Thus, then there is a better chance of actually having something spawn that's not scanned right away. Otherwise, the higher population will mean that your chance of getting a good site here is pretty low. And as you can see, it's only a wormhole, so I'm not going to bother with that one either. There is another refuge though, so we're quickly going to run that. Let's go like that, do a quick stack all here. And let's see if we can get something good out of the next refuge. And after that, yeah, we'll quickly go back to the Tal, see if there happens to be a new signature. Otherwise, we'll jump to the rogue drone asteroid infestation for a small chance at a faction drop. So, refuge first though. Anything on this scan? No, I'm first. Good. So let's land. Let's drop the ogres. Move a little bit. Target everything. And there we go. 2 of them here. 1 of them here. God damn it. Making a mess of it. Like that and like that. And minion down. Very nice. We can stop here. I think we're gonna be pretty close to the spawns. That just blew up. Nice. Come on, guys. Aggro me. Go for this guy as well, if you please. Okay, next spawn. Just a couple more. Slave Hunter and Savage. So yeah, as you can see here, the augmented ogres do a pretty good job of taking care of these guys. Couple cannoneers here. Okay, go for this one next. Cannibals, not cannoneers. He's down. Devourer and Abomination next. Okay. Alright, everyone on this one. Very good. And here, unfortunately, no faction spawn and no escalation. So that's unfortunate, but of course that is what you should expect in most refuges. It's for the small off chance that something does come out of this that can be worth a lot of money. So I do think it's worth it. As you can see, it doesn't take a long time to quickly run a refuge. So I'm back to the Tal. Let's take a look at the situation there. Sometimes you can get lucky. Sometimes you shouldn't be afraid to recheck a system quickly after you've already done some scanning or you notice that there's nothing there. But I tend to work with routes that are a little bit bigger than just these 4 systems. So just for the video, so that it doesn't become like a 1-hour video, I'm quickly showing you guys the smallest route that I'm doing. But I have several others, depending on whether I want to go for an hour, several hours, and sometimes I even repeat them again as well. So here, unfortunately, nothing but the dens. So we are going to go off to Chunka, if I can find the Bloody Stargate. There we go. And we are going to see if we can quickly run that Rogue Drone Asteroid Infestation. I've run a decent amount of these. A lot of people don't run them actively. Like me, the 3 out of 10s and the 4 out of 10s, of course, are what we are really looking for when we're exploring in a cruiser like this. But there is a small chance of a faction drop. It hasn't happened for me yet, so I'm definitely willing to go and take a look at this one to see if something is here. And, oh, good surprise, here's a 3rd signature. So let's start by checking this one out first. It's going to be the 3rd one over here. So, well, it looks a little smaller than the one from the Rogue Drone. Well, actually look the same size. So it could still be a 3 out of 10 from Sancha as well. Let's see what it is. Is it in? I think so. NGS. First one, 20% already. I think that's a little bit too good a result to be a 3 or a 4 out of 10. This is something that you will learn as you do more exploration. You'll get a feeling after your first scan and just from the circumference of the initial signature whether or not it's going to be something good or not. And here, unfortunately, it's just a data site. I'm not going to bother with that. We are going to move on to the 3 out of 10 drone site. Let's go. Let's see if the Ishtar can run this one effectively. It really can, especially with the sentry drones here. So off we go. Oh, I've got hops and hops. Okay. These can just a retriever. Local back down to 4. As you can see here in Chunka, not a lot of population. Yeah, a good chance that something nice spawns here from time to time. For some reason, Chunka has been a really good system for me, exploration-wise, for the combat sites. So, let's take the gate. First room, almost a little bit of a waste of time. Only 3 drones that are here. Thermite Apis times 3, and something seems to not be right. Show all brackets. Ah no, they're just that small, so small that that it hardly shows up. Let's go like that. Approach the gate. I think honestly Hobgoblins is going to get the job done more quickly on these guys. So let's do this. So as you can see, just hits of 26 damage will finish these first few drones. Not really a big deal. Second drone is a bit more annoying. Luckily, with the sentry drones, you can actually handle that without having to do too much travel. And that is good. So off we go. And here we go. So you can see already that the drones are spread out in several locations at quite long distances. So we're just gonna drop the guards, and then we're going to try to do this without having to move. So engage. First the closest one at 30 kilometers. And there we go. Especially if they're hardly moving, you get a result like this, which is pretty nice, and does feel really good that you're just blowing these guys up like it's nothing. So let's engage the next batch. Like that. And here is the first true rogue drone, you could say. Not a converted one. And those... here it's okay, right? They're all still far away, so you just attract their attention and then you put one drone on all of them. With a lucky shot, they'll be blown up very quickly. But especially the two last ones, the furthest ones away here, they'll take a little bit more time. There is a casket all the way over there, but I don't think it can drop faction stuff, so I don't bother with that one. I just wait until my my sentry drones have been lucky a little bit, so that both of these guys get blown up, and then I just move straight for the gate, for the final room, where you do have a chance at faction. So there we go, blown to pieces. Oh, there is still one left. God damn it, I missed you. Let's engage all drones. Blop. There we go. And now we can move on to the gate. Full speed, please. And then in the second room, it's again same tactic as always, right? Just deploy your sentries, take care of the closest ones first, and just go through the list. But sometimes they're a bit too fast. Sometimes they do come under the tracking of my guards. But usually only a couple remain, then I just again switch to the hobgoblins and finish things off that way. So, ancient acceleration gate, let's take it. Thank you. More speed. And let's see. So, room number 2, as you can see, not at 30, but coming in closer towards 20 kilometers. So here, well, all of the easy ones are again closest by. So we're just going to put one drone on each of these. Especially early on, they still need to speed up a little bit. So that usually gives me enough time. Okay, you are next. Yep, auto-targeted, that's good. Grab a couple more. But these guys can be a bit more problematic, so what I tend to do is I put 2 drones on these guys. Just to give me a little bit of a better chance. There we go, first one down. And now that the rest are at 29, I feel a bit more comfortable. But those at 20, I have found that they will sometimes dive underneath the tracking of the guards. Which will then again cost you a little bit of time to take care of them. If you keep missing, of course. So I'd prefer to go like this. Now 27 kilometers. We're gonna hit all of these guys without too much trouble. We can go like this, like that, and a whole lot of this. Just keep spreading them out on these render alvis. You get blown up and he gets blown up as well. And there we go. Very, very smooth cleanup of these rogue drones. I think this does make it pretty much worthwhile to run these infestations, because it's a... Oh, and the other one seems... Oh no, Oak is also the infestation. Someone actually ran the data site here while I was doing this one. Interesting. For only 4 people, someone is here doing a lot of exploration as well. But let's see what drops here.
Within range to execute this function.
Yes, Aura, I know. That's why I'm heading over there. And it's only a 7-tier overseer. So it's a very small chance. It in fact has not happened in Devoid for me just yet in the last few weeks. But I'll keep checking this. Hopefully at some point we will get a nice bit of loot. Let's grab this. Let's head back home then for now. And this is basically what I wanted to share with you guys. A quick exploration session. This is something that I've been doing rather than mining all the time. I've been running some sites with my Ishtar. This is how I look for sites. I tend to focus on the 3 or 4 out of 10s, but if I don't find anything too good, I go after these 3 out of 10 drone sites, and of course the refuges for the escalation. It's been going decently well, honestly. In Devoid there are a few systems that are a bit more far away, close to low sec. Over there I have much better luck with the combat sites, and I usually do get away with at least 1 or 2, 3 or 4 out of 10s. Oh, as I'm coming here, we have a quick other signature. I definitely want to scan this down. That is something that I do tend to have. The just one more signature syndrome, just one more system syndrome. When I'm on a roll for exploration, I can just sometimes keep going, lose track of the time. I actually enjoy it. You never know what's behind the next signature. It's gonna be this one, I think. It always tends to be the dot that's furthest away. Oh, god damn it, completely in the wrong place here. That's not gonna give me a result. So let's check you. Anything on this scan? Well, 44 people in local, so it's obviously possible that there is some competition for the sites. It's only a relic site, so yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. You could go after these data and relic sites if you want to, but then I would need to have a mobile depot, extra fittings, and honestly, I would rather just go to a next system and try my luck there to find a nice 3 or 4 out of 10. And there you go, guys, a quick look at how I'm doing exploration in Devoid with the Ishtar. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this might be helpful for some newer players as well. And as always, I'll see you next time.
Docking request accepted.